Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abhinandan, and we are back again with the webinar series called Edumpus VIEW 1.0. Joining with me today is Ms. Salaria Zahir, who is the India representative for Anglia Ruskin University. So she'll be sharing some information regarding the admissions and the university as a whole. And apart from that, she'll also be taking the questions. So as the tradition goes with our webinar series, you can keep posting the questions in the chat box, and they'll be queued up, and we will take those questions one by one towards the end of the session. So I'll hand it over to Salaria now to start with the presentation. Over to you, Salaria.
Thank you, Abhinandan. Like Abhinandan told you already, I'm just gonna introduce myself again. My name is Salaria Zahir. I'm based out of Kolkata, and I'm the India representative of Anglia Ruskin University. Okay, so basically in this session, let me first brief you guys about Anglia Ruskin University. Okay, about our ranking, achievement, where we are located, what kind of courses we offer, our entry requirement, our scholarship, etc. All right, so you guys are more aware about the university. And like Abhinandan said, that we can, I'll answer all your questions at the end of the session. So just make a note of it or keep dropping a message here so that I can continue from after I've like finished the presentation. All right. So let's start. I hope you guys can see my presentation. Is it visible, Abhinandan? You can see it?
Yes.
Let's continue then. All right. Okay. So let me tell you about the university first. We are a public university, and we were established in 1858, but we got recognized as a university in the year 1992. Okay, so we basically have 4 campuses all across England. We are located in Cambridge, Chelmsford, London, and Peterborough. Okay, our main campuses are in Cambridge and Chelmsford for international students, and unfortunately, the London and Peterborough campus is only for home and European students. Okay, we basically have 2 intakes, January and September. We are currently offering seats to our September intake. Okay, I don't know if it's visible for you guys enough, so I'll just read out the ranking and achievements for you all. All right, basically we are ranked in the top 350 universities across the world, and in the UK we come in within the top 40. All right, considering there are more than 100 universities in the entire UK, coming within top 40 itself is a huge achievement, is what we think. All right, but that's not the only thing we are proud of. The most important thing is that we are the only UK universities that has been named as a global rising star, which means we are one of the universities to look out for in the future. Since we fancy ourselves calling ourselves that we are modern dynamic university, we actually, the faculty prepare the curriculum, we prepare the course syllabus, keeping in mind what the students of the 21st century want. All right, so what basically we do is there's something known as wow learning. So basically when we are having a classes which is around 2 to 3 days a week, we basically talk about theory, right? Whatever happens in India. So there are classroom sessions, the lectures are given by the lecturers, but on the remaining 1 and 2 days of the week, what we do is we put that theory into practice. We have a practical session, all right? That is known as wow learning, which means once you have studied something, when you actually see it with your own eyes, it is supposed to wow you. Okay, so that is one of the many unique features that our university have. So that's why it's just one of the example why we have been termed as the global rising star university. There are other few across the world, but in the entire UK we are the only one. Okay, we have also won plenty of award like the Entrepreneurial University Award in 2014. We have also won the Duke of York Award for University Entrepreneurship, and we have been awarded silver by the Teaching Excellence Framework. Okay, so and one of the most important thing I would like to bring to your notice is that we are considered in the top 20 universities in the entire UK for our teaching excellence. Okay, now let's talk about numbers. we recruit from over 185 countries all across the world. Okay, we believe in diversity. I understand all the students who are going from India, they are not planning on going to another India, right? So that's why we believe in diversity. We believe in that the students from all across the world come and study here, so that you students generally come to the UK to have that experience, to dwell in the culture of different countries. So that's why when you come to our campus, you'll see that we have students all across the world. You have students from US, Australia, Africa, other parts of Europe, other parts of Asia. All right, so we recruit over 185 countries, and we recruit more than 20,000 students per year. Okay, so basically what I was saying was that when let's say if you're coming from Karnataka, you're coming from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, so when you come to the UK, you might find that other students are from the same similar part of India or from India itself. All right, but that's not what UK's experience is all about. You want to meet people, you want to meet students from all across the world. All right, which will not only enhance your learning experience, but it will enhance your living experience as well. So overall, you'll have a very good experience. When you start interacting with students from all across the world, you learn more about the culture, learn more about the tradition, and it will give you an exposure that studies will not give you. Okay, so according to a recent survey that we did for all our students, we have received a satisfaction ratio. Okay, so we have received a satisfaction ratio of 91%, which means that more than 91% of the students are satisfied by the way we teach, by the way we conduct our classes, by the way we give the experience to our international students. Okay. Now, let's talk about the facilities that we are providing to our international students. Now, all modern universities in the UK, they are going to give you library, IT facilities. Those are pretty common. All right, so I want to tell you what we have which is not provided by other universities. Like I've told you about wow learning session, right, that all the theories are converted into practice. So it is for all the faculties, whether it is for business faculty, law faculty, engineering faculty, or medicine faculty. All right, we have developed laboratories for all the faculties, so all the students can practice what they learn in the classrooms. Okay, so for engineering students, especially for mechanical students, there's a good news for you. We are ranked in top 7 in the entire UK for our mechanical department. So we have a lab which is basically for mechanical students and automotive students. Okay, we have a lab for our civil background students. We have a laboratory for our computing students. We have financial trading room, which is also known as Bloomberg Lab for our business students. Now, what happens at a financial trading room is that it is actually modeled like financial trading room, basically. So what you're going to do is, in that room, there are current situations which are happening in the outside world is projected here in this room. So you are able to keep track on the shares, on stocks, on market values, on different rate of currency, etc. So students who will take up investment, student who will take up banking, student who want to become an financial investor, it is a very good opportunity for you to learn and practice here in the university itself. Okay, so students who are going to learn nursing, students are going to learn public health, paramedics. We also have a super lab here in the campus, which means there are dummies basically where there is an operating, there is a mock operation theater, all right, where you can actually practice procedures there. You are given all sort of training which you will be given on campus. Okay, so I've already told you about the library on the and on Chester campus. We have 3-story library, and we also have IT rooms. Everything is digitalized. You can access these computers whenever and wherever you want. It is available to you 24 hours a day. Okay. Okay, so we are also the owner of the Ruskin Gallery. It is, as it sounds, it's a gallery. It is open for all the students, and all the work of the student are presented here. But since it's a gallery, all right, students present their work of art here, whether it is So let's continue where I left off. Okay. So yeah, students basically present all their work here, whether it is their painting, whether it is a sculpture, whether they are fashion students, any kind of art background student, they can always have put in the presentations here. We generally have all sort of uh, seminars, presentations, competitions here at the gallery as well. We also have theater, which is basically for students who are practicing music, arts, dance, etc. Right? So we basically have plays from all across Cambridge. Students who want to practice, who wants to just like look at the plays, they come down to our theater, which is known as Mouthful Theater, and they can see the plays there. Okay. For students who are interested in pursuing arts and music, all right, so we have in our Cambridge campus, we have different rooms set up for those students, just for those students, all right. So you have a music room, you have a room music, okay. It's basically set up as a student. Next slide, I'm going to show how it looks. Just let me move on to the next slide so that you can have a better, yeah. Here, if you can see on the first picture that you have, you can see that there are a couple of guys interviewing, and we have set up that studio, so the students who are from TV production, they can actually learn there. Okay, you can see the fashion studio putting up their work, and like I told you about the super lab, you have tubbies here and more theater rooms where you can practice your course. All right. So we also have gyms at our Cambridge and Chelmsford campus. Students who are enrolled in the university can have the access to the fully equipped gym. You also have eye clinic. You have also lab for students who are studying neurology, who are studying psychology, all sorts of students. All right, they can practice here, and you also have mock law course. There's lawyer students. They come and practice their debates here. Now let's move on to the entry requirement of the university. Entry requirements is quite simple. For undergraduate, if you are coming from CBSE or ICSE background, we only need 55% in class 12. If you are coming from state board, then we only need 60% in class 12. Okay. For undergraduate, and if you are coming to study a postgraduate program, we only need 50% in your graduation, and you have to be from a relevant background. Okay, so if gap doesn't matter, if you're wondering that I am a student who has done in 2015 and I have, like, for the past 5 years we are working, we have good work experience. First of all, our entry requirements are not quite that rigid. We basically, because every student has they're coming from a different background altogether, right?
Like Ms. Salaria is experiencing some intermittent connectivity with her internet. So she'll be joining with us shortly. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll run the video of the campus tour so that you can actually experience on your screens the Anglia Ruskin University campus looks like. So I'll run the first video for you. We have another video which we might as well share once Salaria is back online with us.
Hi, and welcome to Cambridge Ruskin International College at Anglia Ruskin University in Cambridge, England. Today we're going to take you on a quick campus tour to show you what it would be like as a student here. We have a variety of restaurants and cafes on campus where a student can get a hot or cold snack at most times of the day. This is our main restaurant that also houses a large seating area that serves as a venue for Students' Union events and conferences throughout the year. The Students' Union also sponsor a gym right here in the heart of campus that students can join for a discounted rate. They also have sporting events throughout the year that anyone can join. This is the University Eye Centre. When you first arrive, you'll come here to get your Ruskin card, which is your student ID that will give you access to all sorts of things like the library, the Students' Union, the gym, and discounts around Cambridge. After you progress to Anglia Ruskin, you'll come here a lot for lots of different things, like handing in your assignments, visiting with your student advisor, and getting advice on all sorts of things from the helpful staff. Welcome to the newly refurbished Cambridge Campus Library that's open 24 hours a day, so students can access it anytime. It not only has a huge selection of books, but also computer facilities, printing facilities, group study rooms, and free Wi-Fi access. Just above the library is this 24-hour open access area equipped with 250 new computers and printing facilities that are available to students anytime. Recently, developments to the Cambridge campus have included lots of outside spaces for students to relax and socialise between classes. The Lord Ashcroft building, one of the Cambridge campus's newest buildings, is equipped with several lecture theatres with state-of-the-art audiovisual equipment so your lectures can come alive. Anglia Ruskin is one of only 2 universities in the UK to offer an on-campus, fully functioning eye clinic which is open to the public. This unique facility allows final year optometry students to gain real clinical practice experience prior to graduating. The Mumford Theatre is the largest theatre in Cambridge and hosts productions all year round. Students can get involved in university productions through the Drama and Performing Arts Society. The Ruskin Gallery opened in 1858 and is still open to the public today. It displays art from our own students, as well as national and international artists. Thank you for joining us on our tour of the Anglia Ruskin Cambridge campus today. We hope to see you soon. Bye.
All right, so let's continue with the entry requirement that we were talking about. Just a quick recap that if the student is from CBSE, ICSE background, we will accept you, will more than welcome you on board if you have 55% and above in your class 12. And if you are from other board apart from CBSE, ICSE, then we would require 60%, okay? And if you are coming for a postgraduate program, you need to have 50% in your undergraduate, as well as that you need to be from a relevant background, okay? Now coming to our English requirement, our IELTS requirement is 6.0 with no band less than 5.5, and our postgraduate IELTS requirement is 6.5 with no band less than 5.5. All right, we also accept PTE, and as you can see, the PTE requirement is 57 with no component below 51, and for postgraduate we need 61 with no component below 51. Okay, so if you do not have IELTS, or if you have given IELTS and you do not meet the requirement, we also provide IELTS waiver to our students. So basically the requirement for IELTS waiver for undergraduate student is 60%. So if you have scored 60% in your class 12 English, you are eligible for IELTS waiver. And if you have 65% in class 12 English and you wish to pursue a postgraduate program, you are also eligible for a IELTS waiver. Okay. Alternatively, you can also give the ELPT test. It is known as English Language Proficiency Test, which is an alternative to IELTS. It is equivalent to IELTS, but it is only exclusive to ARU students. All right. This ELPT will not be applicable to other universities. So let's say if you have given IELTS 6 point and have achieved the score 6.0 with no less than 5.5, and you're missing 0.5 band, and or you do not wish to take IELTS, then you can appear for an ELPT test. Now, what happens at an ELPT test is that my colleague and myself, we travel all across India, and we conduct this test in every cities. All right. So we also come to Bangalore, we come to Chennai, we come to different parts of Punjab, and all these cities, and we take this ELPT test. So it is equivalent to IELTS. You have all the 4 components: the speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Whereas speaking, writing, and reading happens in front of an invigilator. You have to be physically present for the test. The listening assessment will happen over Skype. Okay. So all the questions that will be asked will be like IELTS. So I would suggest that you need to have a practice of IELTS first in order to give this test, so that you are familiar with all the questions, you're familiar with the pattern, and it becomes easier for you that way. Okay. MOI is not acceptable in the university. Okay. We do not accept media of instruction. We just give waiver on the basis of class 12 English. Okay. And waiver is applicable to all the boards, regardless which state you are from. It is also applicable to Punjab, Haryana students. If you are from Karnataka State Board, Kerala State Board, whichever part of India you are, you will be given IELTS waiver, because we just do not discriminate among the states. Okay. All right, now let's move on to our most popular courses. We have more than 300 courses that we offer on campus. Okay, we are divided into 4 different faculties. You have business and law faculty, you have science and engineering faculty, then you have arts and social science faculty, then you have medicine and health faculty. Okay, let me talk about the placement courses, which are a popular choice for all our international students. So we have 4 business related program in postgraduate, which comes with placement. So you have MBA with placement, you have MSc International Business with placement, you have accounting and finance with placement, and then you have supply chain management with placement. Okay, our MBA with placement is double accredited, so we need 2 years of work experience for that. Okay, so if you're a student passed out in 2018 and you have substantial work experience, or you have currently passed out, but you have a part-time work experience, or you have been looking after your own business or your father's business or family business, any kind of work experience that you have, we'll be more than happy to welcome you on board for a MBA with placement program. Okay. On the other hand, our MSc International program with placement is for freshers. Both freshers and experienced students can apply. We don't need any work experience for that. And the same is applicable for accounting and finance and supply chain management. Okay. Any students from any background, whether you are from health background, whether you are from engineering background, you can always join our MBA and our MSc International program. Okay. We are looking to add more courses on board, like MBA Finance, MBA Entrepreneurship program, MBA in marketing. We are looking to add these courses on board, which will come with placement. However, for September, we have not introduced them. It might come towards the later part of September or for January intake, but we're looking to add more specialized courses for our business and law faculty. Now, talking about our science and engineering faculty, we have 2 courses which comes with placement. One is MSc Computer Science with placement, and students who are looking for a specialty will be more than happy to study the course MSc Artificial Intelligence with Big Data. So the Artificial Intelligence with Big Data is a course where we combine 2 specialties, AI and Big Data. So the duration of the course is 20 months. Okay. And all our undergraduate courses, most of the undergraduate courses have placement options. We also have engineering programs for undergraduate. It's not just BSc. We also offer Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science, Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical, and in Civil Engineering. All right. For engineering program, for mechanical and civil, you need to have maths in your class 12. Now, moving on to our medicine and health faculties, we have MSc Clinical Nursing, we have MBA Healthcare Management, we also have MSc Pharmaceutical Science and Public Health. Okay. So these are the courses that are available for our international students in the healthcare department. Now, coming to the fees and scholarship, we offer international merit scholarship and international excellence scholarship. So international merit scholarship will depend on what you have scored in your graduation if you're going for postgraduate course, or in your 12th if you're going for undergraduate. So it totally depends on your merit. If you have scored first class and above more than 60%, you are eligible for a £2,000 scholarship. If you have scored 55% and above, you will be eligible for £1,000 scholarship. And if you have just received pass class, then you won't be eligible for any scholarship. So £2,000 is what you'll get if you have first class and above, and it will be mentioned on your offer letter. Okay, so it's an automatic scholarship where when my UK team assess your profile, if they see that you're eligible for whichever scholarship it is, it will be mentioned straight away on your offer letter. Okay, now we have another scholarship known as International Excellence Scholarship. This is a scholarship for the student who have got distinction in their graduation, all right, or in their +2. If you have scored 80%, 85%, 70, 75%, whatever it is, if you have scored good marks, you can always apply for the International Excellence Scholarship. Okay, the worth of the scholarship is £4,000. For this, you need to fill out a separate application form. There are just 2 to 3 questions they'll ask you, and once you fill out that form, submit it. And if you qualify, if you shortlist for that scholarship, we'll be sending you an email. Okay, so the maximum scholarship that we're offering is £4,000 scholarship. Okay, we also have something which is known as a full fee payment bursary. It is a £1,000 bursary if you pay the entire tuition fees in full before the given deadline. Okay, let's say for example, if your tuition fees is £10,000 and you have received a scholarship of £2,000, it will make your tuition fees come down to 8,000. Okay, now if you want to pay this entire 8,000 in full before the end of June, we'll give you additional £1,000, which means you only now have to pay £7,000. Okay, so the this early payment discount will not be included in your merit scholarship, so you'll be getting 2,000 plus 1,000. So this will be combined. Okay, it's not like that you will either get 2,000 and you'll not get 1,000. Okay, so the maximum scholarship that you're offering is £4,000, and I'll tell you more about the tuition fees in this slide. Now, our undergraduate fees, basically all the undergraduate tuition fees are the same. It is £13,500 for undergraduate, and for postgraduate, our tuition fee ranges from £13,500 to £16,200. Okay, so for our MBA courses, our tuition fees is £60,200, and for our MSc International Business and other MSc courses, International Business, Supply Chain Management, Accounting and Finance, the tuition fees is £13,500. Now, these are the tuition fees which are without scholarship, which means if you're going for an MBA program, £60,200, and you get a scholarship for £2,000, which means your tuition fees will come down to £14,200. Okay. Now, our MSc Computer Science program is of £30,700. Now, let's talk about the process. What happens once you receive your offer letter? Okay, so our process is quite simple, and your counselors will be able to help you with them. So once you have received your offer, you have to give 2 interviews. Okay, these interviews are super easy. You don't have to worry about it. Your counselors will be helping you with the interviews, and even my team will be helping you with the interview. Okay, so what happens in an English assessment is that if you have been given IELTS waiver, we just have this 15-minute assessment over Skype with my language team. So they are just going to basically they're just going to assess your listening and speaking skills. That's it. Okay, it's just a 15 minutes over Skype, and it's a super easy test. Once you move on from English assessment, you have to appear for summarization interview, which is also known as credibility interview. Okay, so in credibility interview, they're just going to ask you 4 to 5 basic questions as to why you have chosen Anglia, Ruskin, why you have chosen to come to study in the UK, what are your future career plans, what is the course that you'll be studying. That's it. Okay, so these are very basic questions, and do not have to worry about the interview. Like I told you, we will be giving you preparation, and unfortunately, if you're not able to clear it at one go, if the assessor feel that yes, you are eligible for another round, we can have another round. Okay, but do not take this interviews very casually, because it's a good thing that we practice, make you practice about the interview in case the UKVI gives you a call for the interview. Okay, so once you are done with the 2 rounds of interview, we come to the financial check part. Again, your counselors will be helping you with it. They'll tell you the amount to be maintained, what will be your living expenses, and what kind of financials they are acceptable in UKVI. So I understand since you'll be going to the UK for the first time, or can this be a very different? You will find it is very overwhelming and a difficult process to understand. Don't worry about it. You can always give me a call, okay, and talk about the interviews as to what you have to prepare in those interviews, what kind of financials will be needed. Okay, so all the first level of assessment will be done by myself, the India team, and then we move on to the UK team. Okay, so once your financials are okay by me, if I give it a go, if everything is ready and is in proper format, your cash will come within 24 hours. Okay, so once you have received your cash, you can file your visa. Okay. Now let's talk about accommodation. We have university accommodation available on campus, and it is we have 6 to 7 houses, and 3 of the houses they are available on campus, and 3 of the houses they are available off campus. Off campus means it's just 5 to 10 minutes walk from the main building. All right, so you have Anastasia House, you have CP1, you have Peter Taylor, you have Rail Yard Court. All right, so you can always go to our website. I've given you the links, and you can have a detailed information about the accommodation. You can find the prices there, the comparison prices there, all the facilities that are available. You will have good enough pictures of the room, of the building, of the kitchen, of the bathroom, and everything, so that you are well aware. And once you've received the offer letter, you can always book your accommodation. Okay, you can get in touch with me if you have any queries regarding the accommodation, and you can always mail the accommodation guys, and they'll be able to help you out. Okay, so now the facilities that the accommodation is providing, that all the rent will be included. Okay, so you don't have to worry about your water bill, electricity bill, other kind of bills. All right, so it will be included in your rent, and you don't have to pay for any other bills. That's the first thing. Secondly, you have 24/7 security on campus. We have campus police, so you don't have to worry about safety. You have surveillance cameras all across campus and on accommodation as well. You have free Wi-Fi. You have a shared kitchen where you have a refrigerator, you have oven, you have a stove where you can cook whenever you want. Okay, and then you have so there are around 4 to 5 rooms that are like available on single floor, so it is not crowded. You have each room have their own bathroom and toilet facilities. All right, but there's a shared kitchen for the entire floor. Okay, so our presence is available all across social media. You can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, on Twitter. Okay, in my next slide you have my details, my email ID, phone number. I'm available on WhatsApp. If you can just quickly text me on WhatsApp, I'll reply you immediately. Okay, so you can always give me a call if you have any questions. So that's it, Abhinandan. I think I'm done with my presentation. All right, I think we should be taking the questions from the students now.
But we have a pamphlet to share with all the attendees, so that it's a guided action. You can download the pamphlets for further information into whatever Salaria has been sharing with us so far. And soon after that, we'll be taking the questions one by one. So here we go with the video now.
Welcome to Cambridge Ruskin International College at Anglia Ruskin University in Chelmsford, England. We're going to take you on a quick tour of the campus to show you what it would be like to study here. There are lots of places around campus where you can go to get food or drink and just hang out. This is the library. It's got 4 floors with everything you're going to need as a student, and it's open 24 hours a day. This is the Bloomberg Financial Markets Lab. It's a brand new state-of-the-art facility which is geared towards banking, finance, and accounting students, where you can get real-time finance experience. Just behind me is the Campus Employment Bureau, where you can get help finding work on or off campus that fits easily around your studies. You can come and relax here at the Students' Union Lounge, which hosts everything from bar nights to live music. Here at the university, we have a proud tradition of sporting success, and there's plenty of sporting activities for you to get involved in whilst you're here. Architecture and engineering students at Anglia Ruskin get lots of opportunities for practical experience during their course. This workshop is one of the specialist facilities that engineering students get to use. So that's the end of our tour. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to welcome you to the Chelmsford campus soon.
We can't hear you.
Now, I believe the questions up till is Punjab and Haryana students we have already answered. And the next question is from Sandra Thomas. Please confirm whether English assessment test will be there in offer for students with good IELTS score or else only for those with the credibility interview.
Okay. All right. So basically, let me just go back to the previous question that Namita was asking. I have no problem in repeating. It's totally fine. IELTS waiver will be given to all boards, all right, regardless of the stage you're coming from. If you're coming from, we only have a requirement that if you're coming for postgraduate or you're coming from undergraduate. If you're coming for an undergraduate program and if you have 60% in your class 12 English, whether you're from Punjab board, Haryana board, Karnataka board, Gujarat board, whatever kind of state board you are, if you have 60% in your class 12 English, we will waive the IELTS condition for you if you're coming for undergraduate. If you're coming for postgraduate, we need 65%, okay, in class 12. Here, your graduation marks doesn't matter. IELTS waiver will only be given on class 12 English marks, okay. So now coming to the English assessment test, will be there in the offer for student with good IELTS score only, else only credibility interview. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to get from this question is that if you have given IELTS, let's say, and you're meeting the IELTS requirement, you don't have to appear for the English assessment test. Okay, the English assessment test is only for the student who have received IELTS waiver. Okay, so let's say if you're coming for undergraduate course, you have a perfect 6.0 with no band less than 5.5. You don't have to appear for English assessment. You can straight away come for a credibility interview. Okay. And Mithun had previously asked us that we are providing pre-master's program. Yes, if you do not have 50% in your graduation, you are more than welcome to join us for a pre-master program. However, you have to come through Navitas. Okay, they are the pathway provider and for Anglia Ruskin University. However, you'll be studying the pre-master's course on campus itself. All right, something known as CRIC. Okay, so it is basically on campus itself, and once you do your pre-master's course, you'll automatically, if you get good scores, that is, you'll automatically get transferred to a master's program. Okay, so that will be a separate application form. You have to send it to Navitas, and Navitas are the one who will be issuing you offer. Okay, when your CAS comes, yes,
is the CRIC the same as Cambridge Ruskin International College? I just
right.
wanted to elaborate.
Yeah. That's the full form of CRIC. All right. Yeah. So they will give you your offer of your pre-master's program along with your master's program. Okay. So once you start studying your pre-master, you and get good scores, you qualify your pre-master's program, then you'll automatically come to a master's program, which will happen on the Cambridge or Chelmsford campus, whichever course you're going for. Another thing I would like to add here is that not all the courses have the option of either opting Cambridge or Chelmsford. All right. Let's say our MBA program is only available in Cambridge campus. You cannot say that can I study MBA at Chelmsford campus, because our courses are divided into different campus. It's not like that we have one campus running at both the campus. All right. Sometimes students have this question.
The next question is from Subhangi. Are married cases accepted?
See, it depends. All right, like I told you, every student have their own background, they have their own history. Generally, if a student is married and their spouse will be traveling to the UK, we avoid such cases because we feel that there is a huge risk of visa refusal here. Okay, so that is the reason we do not accept married cases who have any kind of spouse or children traveling with them, or also has a cab. Okay. However, if the student has like freshly married and they have no work, they have no gaps, and they do not have any spouse or children accompanying, we will go case by case basis. But generally, we like to avoid such cases. So because it causes visa refusal. So that is the only reason that we avoid married cases. However, it is not 100% no. We go case by case basis. Okay. So Nichu has asked that if English waive off is possible for human science program. I'm just wondering what kind of human science program are you referring to? All right. So I would just like to know what specific programs, because sometimes when a requirement is high, as to 7.0 with no band less than 6.0, then we might need IELTS for that course. Okay. But generally, for all our basic courses, the requirement if it's 6.5, then we don't need IELTS for such kind of courses. However, a little bit higher, 7.0, then we might need IELTS. Are you providing any kind of scholarship due to COVID? No, there is no scholarship at the moment. Okay. However, we will be extending the deadline for the full fee payment. Since in the presentation you have seen that it was mentioned that it will be the deadline is 12th of June. However, pushing it, and it might be in July. We will be extending a payment deadline, a CAS deadline, our enrollment deadline. Okay, so we are not providing any scholarship as of now. However, we are giving the liberty to the student that they can, since our initial deposit is £4,000. Okay, the student, they can pay £1,000 or £2,000 as of now, and once the lockdown is lifted, then you can go ahead and pay the remaining in the amount which is left of the initial deposit, and then get your CAS. Okay, so we are very liberal with our refund policies. Okay, all the entire amount, if let's say for some students, if they're not able to clear their interviews despite several attempts, or they wish to withdraw their application, whatever it is, we'll give you the refund. So that is not a problem. All right. So if you want to go with a lower amount, if you want to pay 1,000 deposit at the moment, because I can understand the banks are closed and it is not possible to pay the £4,000 So you can go ahead with the 1,000 or 2,000, whatever it is, and then you can pay the remaining amount before getting your CAS. Okay. The entry criteria for UG and PG program, like I've already discussed in the presentation, it is 50% for postgraduate, and it is 60% for undergraduate if you're from state board, and if you're from CBSE or ICSE board, then it is 55%. Okay, so part-time working hours is 20 hours a week. All the international students going under tier 4 visa, they are eligible for working part-time there, and you can work up to 20 hours per week. Okay. Whether university accept the visa rejection cases, yes, that's a very good question. We do accept visa rejection cases. However, this needs to be informed at the time of application. Okay, so once you are submitting the application, I would suggest that you reveal your previous immigration history to us, so that way we have all the information that is required to make a decision. Okay, if you have a Canadian visa refusal, New Zealand visa refusal, or previous UK visa refusal, it doesn't matter. You just submit at the time of application. My admissions team will have all the information there is, and then they'll be able to make a decision. Okay, so we do accept, but it depends on case to case. Okay, so yeah. University accept more than 7 years gap profile. Yes, we do accept. Then again, it depends on case to case. As first, we are going to see as to what you have been doing for the past 7 years. If you have substantial work experience, if you have good work experience, then we'll be more than happy to welcome you on board. Okay. However, if you have a gap of more than 7 years, I would suggest that you appear for the interview first and then make your payment. Okay, because I do not want the students to like make the payment and then later on find it difficult to get the CAS. Okay, so for such exceptional cases, you have the interview first and then you go ahead with the payment. Do you accept 2005 passed out 12 without IELTS who's looking for an MBA? So Midhun, I'm assuming that you have only done your class 12 and you have not done your graduation. Okay, so unfortunately, we cannot accept such kind of cases. Okay, and it doesn't matter whether you have IELTS or not. It's just that the gap is quite long, so we won't be able to accept you directly because there are universities which accept students with good work experience directly onto the master's courses. But unfortunately, we need to have a graduation for us to accept you for our postgraduate program. How about show money for inside and outside London? So since Cambridge is outside of London, you need to show your living expense as 9135 GBP per year, which is around 8 to 9 lakhs. Okay. All right. So basically, Cambridge is just 45 minutes ride, a train ride away from London. And if you're traveling by bus, it will take you around an hour. So we have a bus stand located right outside the university. Okay, so if you need to travel to London, you just need to hop onto a bus. It will take you just 1 hour to reach central London. Which campus is nearby London, Chelmsford or Cambridge? Actually, both the campuses have the equal amount of distance from London, so it will just take you roughly about 1 hour to reach Chelmsford or Cambridge. Okay, so how strong is ARU when it comes to placement opportunities is what Sandra is asking us. Placement opportunities, it's quite strong here at Edumpus. Here at Anglia Ruskin. So yeah, so more than 65% of the students got placed for our MBA program last year, which I would say is a very good number. All right, let me briefly talk about the placement opportunities because this is what students are most interested in. So placement is, first of all, is not guaranteed. At ARU, it is in fact not guaranteed in most of the universities in the UK. So we have a placement bureaus like you have seen in our on our videos, that there's a placement bureau. It is a placement cell which is dedicated and for looking for jobs for the students. Okay, they will help you in prepping for the interview. They'll help you in preparing your resume. They'll help you in building up the contacts with the companies and the organizations who are looking to recruit. They will have on campus job fairs where all the different companies will come down to the campus for recruitment. But the interview needs to be given by the student itself. and they need to secure placement by themselves. So there's a particular deadline associated in every intake where when you need to get that placement. You just need to pay a placement fee, which is 1250 for business courses and 625 for our computer related courses. And once you get your placement, you just need to report back to the university saying that you have secured a placement and pay the fees and then join the job. Yes, so more than 65% of the students for our MBA program got placed immediately after completing their graduation. Here at here at Cambridge, we only have two universities. We have Anglia Ruskin University and University of Cambridge. So there's not a lot of competition here like in London, because there are many universities which are in London. All right. However, if the student if they want, they can work in London. That's not an issue. All right. In the entire UK, whenever you find a placement opportunity, you can join. You just need to report back to the university that this is the particular company that you'll be working for. And the entry requirement is same, 65. For UG and postgraduate respectively. So you are eligible for the IELTS waiver off. Okay. Do you accept more than 12 backlog? Yes, backlog is not a problem. However, let's say if the duration of the course is 4 years, and if the student is taking 6 to 7 years to complete, that might be a problem. However, if you have backlog and you can provide a consolidated mark sheet, that is not an issue. And conditional base offer a letter for last SEM UG pursuing students for master. Yes, we are offering conditional offer letter if the student does not have all their mark sheet at the moment, because due to COVID, the universities are also shut down. So many of the students, they're not able to get LORs, they're not able to get the last semester mark sheet. So that is not an issue. You can just mention it in the comment on the portal saying that I do not have my mark sheet, and I'll submit it as soon as the university opens. So that is fine. We'll issue you a conditional offer letter. Okay, so you're talking about MSc clinical nursing. Yes, previously previously actually there has been an entry requirement change. Previously it was just 65 that was needed to get off the IELTS waiver. However, it has been changed and we need 7.0 for nursing. But for that, Niju, let me get back on this, because there had been certain changes in the nursing, so I wouldn't be able to say for sure if we are providing IELTS waiver. But I think not, because we had changed the entry requirement, and I'll just get back to you on that question. Okay. Sandra is asking, when is the CAS deadline for September 2020, and is there any chance for automatically defer September intake to Jan during COVID? First of all, Sandra, I would like to tell you that there's no need to defer your offer to January, because here at ARU we are running as per schedule. Okay. We will be extending our deadline. Let's say if our latest, we were starting classes around 12th of September. And for after 1 week of orientation, we were having our normal classes. Okay. However, due to COVID, we will be postponing a class start date. So it might be towards end of September or in October, because like the government, like everybody else, we are still waiting to understand what will be the current situation of lockdown. Since you can see many of the areas have already been green zoned and the lockdown has been lifted. So we are going to wait for another few days, see the scenario. But as of now, we are not shutting down our September intake, because what we'll do is either we'll extend the deadline or we'll have another intake which will start in October or November. Okay. So we are doing this because we don't want the student to miss out on those 5 to 6 months. Okay. So at the moment we are getting the offers, we are having the interviews, students are making the payment. So everything is going as scheduled. And if worst comes to worst, we'll just shift it a little and start in October or November, but we don't want the student to miss out on the precious few months. So we will not be cancelling out a September intake. So you don't have to defer your September, and there is no deadline as to if you have to defer it or your application will get cancelled or whatever. It's not like that. You wait till the end of September. If the student wishes to join for September, they can always put in a request later on, and then will have to do a fresh new application for January intake. So there's not an automatic defer. You have to put in a fresh application. Okay. And don't worry about the CAS deadline. We have not set up a deadline deadline, a payment deadline we have not set up, because obviously due to COVID, we can't say for sure. So that's why there is no deadline. Student can pay on after once the lockdown is lifted. That's why I'm suggesting the student to just pay the £1,000 and secure your place. Okay, pay the £1,000 and the remaining you can pay in the month of June or July. Anyway, it will be later half of June when we start issuing the CAS. Okay. So there is no acceptable educational gap as of now, Midhun, because it depends case to case basis. However, for undergraduate, we strongly prefer that the student is not more than doesn't have a gap of more than 2 years. So we are only accepting 2018 and 2019 pass out students. All right. For postgraduate, we would suggest and we would prefer if the students are within the 5-year limit. And if there is more than that, obviously we'll look at different aspect as to the work experience, if the student is married, if the student has good scores, etc. And such kind of decision is then taken up by my UK team. Okay, but do not since I'm seeing the same thing again and again, it's case by case basis. So do not shy away from putting in the applications, because we might accept a student who has 5 years in one case, we might not accept if the student has even 2 years in some cases. All right. So it we have our own agenda, we have our own method of assessing application. So nothing is set in stone. Hi Shubhangi, there is no payment deadline for September intake. Don't worry about it. We understand it's a difficult time, and us as a university, we will do everything. We'll do everything to support you. All right. I would suggest that you put in your applications, you move ahead with the interviews, get everything done, and then you can pay. Or if you wish to pay first and have the interview later, it's totally up to the student choice. We are liberal. We don't mind it. All right. So in the meantime, while you're sitting at home, I would suggest that you take your interviews, and then later on, once the lockdown is lifted, hopefully within a couple of weeks, then you can pay. But don't worry about the deadline. Rest assured, we'll issue the CASs for all our students if you're running the September intake. All right. So don't worry about the CAS. Don't worry about the seats getting over. We'll take care of it. Okay. Which course makes ARU unique when compared to other universities in perspective of fee, module, international student support? All right. So, Midhun, actually, when it comes to fee, if you can just give me a second, hold on. I'll be right back. Yeah, just give me a second. Okay, so yeah, I was answering Mithun's question. So in terms of fee, as you have already seen, our tuition fees is quite competitive. All right. The tuition fees for undergraduate is only 13,500, and most of our MSc courses is 13,500, and that is without scholarship. So if the student is getting a scholarship of £2,000, then the tuition fees coming down to 11,500 for both undergraduate and postgraduate. And this course and this tuition fees is for courses which are with placement. Okay. So I don't think so there are any other universities. There might be a few, but I think as compared to other universities, our tuition fees is quite competitive. And coming to MBA, we are offering 2 years of MBA and only £14,200. So what we feel is that our tuition fees is quite competitive. It is affordable for the student. All right. So yeah, we do not want to keep 18,000 or 20,000 for MBA fees, because that is just unrealistic. And when it comes to modules or special courses, this connection. So these are unique courses that we are offering, and not just MA, MBA, MSc International Business, which I feel is quite unique. And like I told you, for international student support, you have the ICE center, you have a personal tutor, which is a tutor assigned to each and every student, which will help them in professional and personal life. Then you have employment bureau, you have labs for all the different faculty. So I think those are the unique factors which makes ARU stand apart from other universities. Okay, and also we're based in Cambridge, which is a very beautiful city. It is a mix of modern UK and historical UK. So the University of Cambridge is only 20 minutes walk, and the ARU campus, both Cambridge and Chelmsford campus, are just 5 minutes walk from the from the city center. So students have facilities to the city center, all the cafes, restaurant, food chains, supermarket and malls. Everything is right across the street because it is right in the market area. Okay, so the transportation is also quite easy here. When you get the student ID card, like in the video they told you, they'll give you a discount on traveling in buses, and most of the students, they just cycle their way around Cambridge because everything is so close to each other that you do not have to travel far and to reach places. Okay. Bangladesh and Nepal is not under my jurisdiction, and we are only accepting students who are of Indian nationality and they have studied from India. So let's say if the student is from, let's say, Sri Lanka, but has been studying in India for graduation and have done the schooling, graduation, everything in India, then in that case we will be accepting students. However, if the student's nationality is Nepal or of Bangladesh origin and they have studied there, then we won't be able to accept such cases. Same goes for Nigerian students as well, Madonna, because these Nigerian students doesn't come under my jurisdiction. It's in the European and the other Africa, because I just look after Indian students, and the Africa domain and the Europe domain, everything is different. So you need to go to the website and check, and maybe I can check with my colleagues and get back to you on that. Do you have any other questions? We can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
For the students, I'd like to add to what Salaria just said. Who are willing to apply, who hails from countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Vietnam, or the MENA region. By MENA region, we mean Middle East and North Africa. So, considering that Nigeria is a North African country, I think you can still get in touch with your with the client relationship executives that you are already in touch with in Edumpus, and they should be able to answer your queries, and they should be able to provide you with information required for your specific case. And as we mentioned in the beginning itself, since Salaria is only representing Anglia Ruskin University in the Indian jurisdiction, we would really appreciate if the questions are related to India only. If you have any further questions, please shoot them at us, and we will be more than happy to answer. Okay, so it looks like that we have answered all the questions satisfactorily. If there are any further concerns, you can definitely get in touch with Salaria, as she has shared her contact details with you guys, and you can also get in touch with the representatives at Edumpus, or you can write us an email at info@edumpus.com. Apart from that, if you have already submitted your applications for Anglia Ruskin University, you can definitely log on to your accounts and check the current status of that. And if you have not yet submitted your application, I would suggest please go ahead and do that as soon as possible. Secure a place for yourself, because we all are optimistic that this COVID situation is not going to impact the September intake, and we are very optimistic that the Anglia Ruskin University will be able to serve you and provide all the educational services as required. So having said that, thank you, Salaria, for such an engaging session and the brilliant presentation, and thank you guys for joining us. We will see you soon with the next session that is supposed to happen tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. sorry, yeah, 11:30 a.m. and then the next session will be at 3 p.m. tomorrow. So hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for today and have a great day. Thank you, Salaria, once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. It was nice meeting you all.